So welcome once again. Now today, see, we are already done with differential calculus practice sessions. Now this is next one is integral calculus. Here again we will be having two such practice sessions. Okay, in between I will try to put up miscellaneous questions also practice session. So let's see. As I said earlier, how much will I be able to deliver? But okay, let's try. So let's move ahead. So the first question here is, if A is the area of figure bounded by the straight line x is equal to 0, which is of course the y-axis, x is equal to 2, the vertical line, and the curve y is equal to 2 raised power x and y is equal to 2x minus x squared, then the value of this is, okay. See, in the question of area, any question related to area, the application of integral, or we call it area under the curve, in any such question the most important aspect is to have to visualize, to see the region, okay, whose area is required here. Okay, so see, for that of course we all know that we have to draw the curve here. Okay, so y is equal to 2x minus x square. It's a quadratic curve. I mean, it's a parabola, vertical parabola, and open down. Why? Because leading coefficient is negative, and this we all know is a what? This is exponential functions curve, isn't that? Now see, the point is, I mean, that's what we need to check, because we need to find the area of the region bounded by the y-axis. So this is x is equal to 0. Let's say somewhere here will be x is equal to 2 line, and then behind these two curves. Okay, so of course we need to figure out whether these two curves intersect or not. Okay, so and in that case, see, we know the roots of this quadratic is 0 and 2. And it's the same 2 through which this vertical line pass. I mean, the vertical line equation is x is equal to 2, so of course it passes through the exercise 2. Now if we draw the curve, see, it's an open downward parabola, we all know it, and it will take its maximum value at the vertex, and the vertex is at minus b by 2a, so it's 1. So at 1 the value is 1, and for this at 1 the value is 2. So of course that the curve doesn't intersect the exponential curve. So parabola doesn't intersect the exponential curve, so it's simple. So the area is nothing but between 0 to 2, the upper curve minus the lower curve, as simple as that. Okay, so just the warm-up exercise. So it's a very simple question, of course. Okay, so you take it as a warm-up exercise of a sort of thing, because the upcoming question, I believe people are definitely going to enjoy. So that's it. So now you can, of course, any one of us can easily solve it and compare it to get capital A. So that's done. So start with, so moving quickly to the next question. Second question is, if y of x is 2 root x, g of x is this b2 function, then the area bounded by dx and the x-axis. So here again, see, again the simple purpose of this question is again to draw the basic curve. So 2 root x, of course it is defined when x is positive on the right side of curve only, x only. So let's say this is the curve of y is equal to 2 root x. But what about the curve of y is equal to 2 times under root of 1 minus x? At x is equal to 0. At x is equal to 0, this is 2. Okay, so this is 2. And x is equal to 1, and one more thing, for what values of x, or what is the domain condition of this function g of x? So the domain condition is x should be less than equal to 1. So at x is equal to 1, this is 0. So this is going to be something like this. Achha, one more thing, root ensures, square root ensures that the value is always and always going to be positive. Okay, so otherwise, see, if you square it, you will get a horizontal parabola, shifted horizontal parabola, but it's not the complete parabola. Okay, it's the upper half of the parabola which lie above the x-axis. Okay, so that's what under root tells us. Anyways, now that's the bounded region. I think all of you will agree. So bounded region with the x-axis, the curve and the x-axis. Now which point is it? So of course, I mean, if I just go for it and trial, I believe it should be half. And why? Because you put x is equal to half, you get root 1 by 2. You put x is equal to half, you get root 1 by 2, of course multiplied by 2, so you have the same value. So now if the area is simple, again from 0 to half, which curve? The yellow curve form the boundary of the region, which is 2 root x. So again that's a simple direct question, and 2 times another one from half to 1, the red curve forms the boundary of the region, hence that is. So that's the answer for it. Again I will say calculate it and get the answer. So I'm moving to the third one. Now area bounded by y is equal to 2. which is a horizontal line, x is equal to 1, x is equal to a, and the curve y is equal to fx, which cut the last two lines above the first line for all a greater than equal to 1 is equal to, then f of x is. So now see, now as I said, the initial few questions were like warm up exercise. So now let's start with the something interesting stuff. So see, if I go for the curve here, of course you may say that where do we have the curve, because that's what we have to find. We have to find the function itself, isn't that? But see, they said in the question that it intersect x is equal to 1 and x is equal to a. So this is, let's say x is equal to 1 vertical line, and as a is greater than 1, so x is equal to a. The curve intersect both the lines above this horizontal line. So something like this, isn't that? Now question is the area bounded by the line, this and the curve. So where is that bounded region? So the bounded region is this one, isn't that, all of you? That's the bounded region. So now what? So again see, upper curve which is y is equal to f of x, lower curve which is y is equal to 2, bounded between 1 to a. So the area is, expression of area is from 1 to a, the limit over the x-axis, the stretch of the x-axis, okay, or the stretch of the region along the x-axis is from 1 to 8. So that defines the limit. Upper curve f of x minus lower curve 2 dx. Now this is given to be equal to 2 by 3 times 2a raised to the power. So let me quickly write it, 3 by 2 minus 3a and then plus 3 minus 2 root 2. Fine. Now see, we have to find f of x. How? So see, on both the sides you have a function of a. So use Leibniz rule of differentiation for definite integral. We all know it, isn't that? So differentiating both the sides with respect to a. So what does that give us? So that gives us instead of x, we replace it with the upper limit, which is the variable a, with respect to what we are like differentiating here. So f of a into derivative of the upper limit, which is 1, because we are differentiating with respect to it, minus 2 into again the upper limit, derivative of upper limit, because this is independent of x. So of course we are not going to replace, since there is no x, with what shall we replace? Okay, into derivative of a, which is 1. Now minus, replace x by 1 and its derivative of 1 is a constant, so that doesn't make any difference. So now let's go for this. So this is 3 by 2 times 2a raised to the power half minus 3, that's it, yeah, that's it. So now f of a minus 2, so if I take 2 by 3 inside, so it's simply 2a raised to the power half minus 2, isn't that? Yeah. So okay, so see, we got f of a directly, which is root 2a, therefore f of x is root 2x, and since a is greater than equal to 1, x is greater than equal to 1, so that means it is very well defined within the domain condition. So root 2x, x is greater than equal to 1 should be the answer. So that was another question where we have to find, using Leibniz rule, writing the area of expression using Leibniz rule, the function. Okay, but still comparatively it was still a simple question. Again, the solution of the differential equation x cot y dy. Chaliye, see, whenever I have to solve such a differential equation, see the approach. So if you ask me how do I approach any differential equation, my approach is fixed. Looking at the differential equation, so once so let me first write it. So once I go through the differential equation, I observe there whether can I separate the variable or not. Achha, before that, the first thing I check is, of course, orally, that whether it's a homogeneous form of differential equation or not. So any one of us can claim here that it's not a homogeneous form, so that's out of question. I mean, that form is not there, so I'm not going to apply any such method. Okay. Now, second question is whether can we separate the variables here? Can we separate x along with dx on one side and function of y along with dy on the other side? It seems highly unlikely here, isn't that? Because y tan x dx is here, x cot y dy is here, ln cos y x into dy. So it's highly unlikely that we can do it. Now, once I am done with it, Now the third is, can we apply linear differential equation type of thing? Again I will say I can't see that thing happening, linear differential equation, but that's the order which I follow. Okay, so keep that thing in mind. Then at the last I come to exact differential form. Exact differential form. Okay, now look at it. If I write x cot y dy and then ln sin y dx, bring them together. Okay, now see, derivative of ln sin y, so it will be 1 by sin y into cos y, which is cot y, so cot y dy, and derivative of x is dx, so I can write it as x times derivative of x times cot y. Similarly, for the next one, it is ln cos x dy minus y tan x dx. Okay, now again, if you think about derivative of ln cos x, its derivative is minus tan x. Okay, so this is nothing but d of y ln cos x, and we are done, is equal to 0. So integrating both the sides, what will we get? So we will get x cot y plus y ln x ln sin y, I'm sorry. So it will be x times ln sin y. Okay, so it will be x times ln sin y plus y times ln cos x. So integral will be x times ln sin y, because integral of dt is t, isn't that? Plus y times ln of cos x is equal to a constant. So whatever that integral, indefinite integral constant be, so that should be the answer. Okay, yes. If I take a sine x inside, so it will appear as the product, as the power of the input within log. So sin y raised to the power x into cos x raised to the power y. So sin y raised to the power x into cos x raised to the power y is equal to constant. So that should be the answer. Okay, so now quickly moving to the next one. The area bounded by y is equal to f inverse x, x-axis, x is equal to a, x is equal to pi, where fx is given by this is pi square. So there is a correction here, because when I solved it, so we'll check it, bacho. Okay, when I solved it, when students here asked me about as a doubt, so we got the answer. I mean, whatever the possible things are, we got the answer when we compared it with pi square plus a by b. No, once again, when I will be solving it, we'll check it once more. Okay. See, the area bounded by f is y is equal to f inverse x. The x-axis, x is equal to 0, x is equal to pi, where function fx is x plus sin x. So x plus sin x. Okay. Area bounded by y is equal to fx. Okay. See, can we find its inverse? My answer is no. So most of the times, you be sure you get a good question based on inverse, you be sure that we won't be able to find inverse. So what does that mean? That means we need to use the properties of inverse of the function. Okay, now here let me tell you quickly. If we have indefinite integral, one very important property, if we have a function which is invertible and you come across any such integral, okay, a to b fx dx plus integral of its inverse, where the limit is f of a to f of b. Now this is nothing but b times f of b minus a times f of a. We would have already discussed this property quite few times earlier also. I am pretty sure about it. Okay, but again, it's a very important one. Now see, fx is equal to x sin x. So the limit is from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to pi. Okay, so if I go for f of 0, which is 0, f of pi, which is pi plus sine pi, which is again pi. Okay, now what does that mean? That means, see, but try to understand, x plus sine x from 0 to pi, on the right side of 0, x plus sine x is always and always positive. Why? Because see, fx is x plus sine x, so f of 0 is 0 for sure, not differentiated. 1 plus cos x. Now this can never be negative, it is always and always positive. At most it can be 0, and that too only at one point. Okay, so this is always and always 0. I mean, that too only at one point means the odd multiple of pi, at no more point. But again, so that means fx is always positive. Okay, so f of x is always positive. Now again, if we go for the curve of y is equal to f of x, so on the right side of y-axis, so how will it look like? See, it starts from 0. At every multiple of pi, it will be x only. Like f of pi is pi, f of 2 pi will be 2 pi. Why? Because sine will get 0, and from 0 to pi, sine x is positive. So it will be above y is equal to x line, and from pi to 2 pi it will be below. But in no case is going to be negative. Now, if we go for its inverse, what's the property of inverse? Property of inverse says that you can get its curve by taking the mirror image of y is equal to fx on the line y is equal to x. So if I have to draw its mirror image, so this is how it will look like. So what are we looking for? We are looking for the area bounded by y is equal to f inverse of x between 0 to pi. So that's it. Okay, so the area is from 0 to pi f inverse of x dx. Now let's go back to this property, bachon. Okay, so according to this property, 0 to pi x plus sin x dx plus f of 0 is 0, f of pi is pi, f inverse x dx is, what is it? It is pi times f of pi, which is pi, isn't that, b times f of b, so pi times f of pi, which is pi, minus 0, so it's nothing but pi is square. Done. So we need this, so therefore 0 to pi f inverse of x dx is pi square minus this integral. Now we all can easily solve it, so it's x square by 2 from 0 to pi, and then minus integral of sine x is minus cos x, so it's plus cos x 0 to pi. So this is nothing but pi square by 2 plus pi square minus 4 by 2. Okay, fair enough. So that means A is 4, B is 2. So I think the question was correct. So that day my calculation would have been wrong. Wait for a minute. So let me first do it with this, because it's comparable. I mean, if this would have been positive, so I would have said A is equal to minus 1. Now if this is minus A, then I would have said, of course, I would have got pi square plus 4. I would have said A is minus 4. But then see, look at the options. Okay, so just wait. So according to this condition, A is 4 and B is 2. Okay, A is 4, B is 2. So that's it. Isn't that? So that's one condition. A is 4, B is 2. That's correct one. A is 4, so B is 2. So pi comma pi. So pi comma pi satisfy. That's the correct one. This is wrong. So yes. So everything is perfect. I mean, there's no need of any correction here. So that's what. So that's what I said in the beginning also. Let's check it once more, okay? Because that day when I solved, I got it as plus A when I compared it. It's fine. So everything is okay. So now let's move to the next one. Next one is question number 6. Now see, that's a bit interesting one. What I try to do here is, see, because it's a second order differential equation. So do we know how to solve second order differential equation? Not in the course. Of course, we know how to solve a higher order differential equation. Okay, but can we solve it using the methods which we know? So when for that I will say, if at all they ask any such question, okay, if at all they ask any such question in your paper, you be sure that we will be able to solve it with whatever method we already know. Okay, so keeping that faith, that trust, what I tried was, I just replaced it with p. So I wrote it as p square minus 2 times x plus 1 by 4x p plus 1 equal to 0. Then I thought about getting the value of p. I mean, applying the Shidhar-Char formula. Okay, applying the Shidhar-Char formula, I thought about like using this formula. So p is 2 times x plus 1 by 4x. So it's like a minus b plus minus under root of 4 times x plus 1 by 4x whole square minus 4. Isn't that upon 2? So 2 gone. So what does that give us? So that gives us, so P, which is nothing but dy by dx. Dy by dx. So it is x plus 1 by 4x, okay, plus minus under root of. So if I open this, of course this perfect square, what do we get? So we get it as x square plus 1 by 16x square plus half minus 1. Now see, that's again a perfect square. So see, so if someone think that, or you may ask that, did I know it earlier? Of course not. That's what I said. So keep faith and trust on whatever we know, because I always say, because those methods are not in our is not in our domain, our course, which we use to solve for higher in higher mathematics, to solve these differential equations, the higher order or higher degree differential equation. So it's a higher degree, of course. I'm sorry, I think in the starting I said it's higher order. No, it's a higher degree differential equation. It's a first order second degree differential equation. Okay, so to correct myself. Now, so this is nothing but x minus 1 by 4x whole square. Bachcho, fine. So we got it. So dy by dx is x plus 1 by 4x plus mod of minus x minus 1 by 4x. That's it. So I can write it as, therefore dy by dx is equal to x plus x, because if I open with open sign, positive sign, if 1 by 4x will get cancelled, we get 2x. But when are we going to do it? So if that we will do it when x minus 4x is greater than equal to 0. We need to solve this. Okay, so how? So it will be 4x square minus 1 upon 4x is greater than equal to 0. We can solve it using the methods. Okay, using a simple wavy curve method, we can easily do it. So that condition will appear here, and at last it will be 4x will remain, and x, when you remove modulus and use negative sign here. Okay. Is there any other condition? I mean, wait. X positive ln x. Okay. So that means, see, what will happen is, why? Because there are 2-3 possibilities. I mean, modulus, and then there's positive negative thing also. Okay. And they didn't say anything about dy by dx, whether it's positive or negative. They didn't say anything about it. So if that gets cancelled, we'll get 1 by 2x. Okay, 1 by 4x plus 1 by 4x. Okay, the problem is because there will be 4 such combination. But so I think you people are getting my point. Okay, so I mean, when you remove mod, again there is positive negative. Okay, the condition, I mean, we'll get only these 2 things. These 2 will be the only possibilities, but the condition we have to take care of. But since there is no condition in the option, so I think we can easily go ahead. So dy by dx, so here it is x square plus c, and here it is half ln x. So x square plus c1 is this, okay, and half ln x is this. So that should be the answer. Okay, so as I said, see, I mean, so don't think that I'm in hurry, not in like that, but okay. The point is, if I remove this mod, then also we are going to have positive negative sign depending on the condition, whether this is positive or this is negative. In any case, there is positive negative sign, bachcho. Okay, so in any case we are going to get 2 cases for sure, so we can directly go ahead and write it. That's it. Okay, that's it. So chaliye, we got it. So now moving to that, so that question was important because that was a higher degree differential equation. So that's just a method to when you get at least the second degree differential, first order second degree differential equation, you can at least try that. Sridhar formula, factorization, whatever you may think. Now that's another question. Let fx be x minus greatest integer of x when x is not an integer, real enclosed by curve, y is equal to fx, y is equal to f mod x, x goes between -1 to 5 to 5. See, what is fx? Fx is nothing but fractional part of x. I think all of you will agree, bachcho. And this is 0 when x is integer. Fine. So now, see, we know that fractional part of x is a periodic function with fundamental period as 1. All of you agree? Fundamental period as 1. And then we again have a property which says that if we put a periodic function inside a non-periodic function, that again a periodic function. Hence, by that logic, ln of fractional part x is again a periodic function with same fundamental period as that of fractional part of x, in this case at least. Okay, so that's a periodic function. So fx, that's a periodic function. Okay, now if I go for periodic function means fundamental period 1 means, that means if I solve for x is equal to 1, because I have to go till 5. Okay, but if I solve for only till 1, then it's a periodic function, so everything is going to repeat as it is, and then we can easily get it. Okay, so now at integer, it's integer, it's 0. So when x is an integer, the value is 0. As x approaches 0, okay, so from, see, if we plot the fractional part of x curve here, at 0 it's 0, and it approaches, as it approaches integer from the left side, it approaches 1. But as it approaches integer from the right side, any integer, start from here, so that's the curve of fractional part of x. So if you are approaching an integer 1 from the right side, it's going 0. 0 from the right side, it's going 0. So as it approaches 0 from the right side, fractional part of x goes 0, and ln of 0 goes to minus infinity. So curve will start somewhere from here, and it will go to this point, and at 1 it has to be 0. Okay, why so? Because the reason is, when x is an integer, the value of f of x is 0. So that's it. So can we get its area? Okay, so wait. By the curves, this x between and y equal to 0, and y equal to 0 means, so this is our y equal to 0, the x-axis, so that's the region. So I'm still, see, y is equal to f of mod x. Okay, so how do you get the curve of f of mod x from f of x? So if we have the curve of, let's say, something like this for f, y is equal to f of x. So to get the curve of mod x, what do? We retain the right side portion of the curve and take its mirror image, the right side portion curve mirror image, and remove the left hand side portion. That's it. Okay, f of mod x, because mod x is same as x when x is positive. So for the positive x on the right side of y axis, it remains same. F of mod x is fx, but on the left side, f of mod x is f of minus x. Okay, so you have to take the mirror image of whatever portion of the curve you have on the right side on the y axis to get the corresponding curve on the left side. So, sorry. Right, so if it's minus 1, so that's the curve of y is equal to fx. Okay, on the left side doesn't make any difference, but on the right side, when you take its mirror image, okay, bachcho, so left side portions are to be removed and the right side portion will come in the picture. Take the mirror image of whatever curve you have on the right side to get its corresponding curve. So it's, again, don't have to worry, we have to just find out the area. Okay, wait, but then area bounded by y is equal to fx and y is equal to f mod x and the x-axis. Okay, so in that case we will keep this one also. Okay, so this one is y is equal to f of mod x portion, and this is of course y is equal to fx. Now see, on the left side the portion is this region. Area bounded by y is equal to fx, y is equal to f mod x and the x-axis. On the right side, since y is equal to fx and f mod x are same, so according to me, on the right side these 5 times this area, on the left side its area 5 times, should give us the answer. Okay, so let's try. Now see, simple, this has to be half. This has to be half, no doubt about it. Okay, or so if we get it, so it's from 0 to 1 ln x dx, bachcho, ln fractional part of x dx. But when x lie between 0 to 1, fractional part of x is same as x. So 0 to 1 ln x dx. Integral of ln x is x ln x minus x 0 to 1. Okay, so now when you put it here, so it is like x 1 ln 1 is 0, so gone, minus 1, and then 0, it's everything is 0, and since it's area, so it's 1, 5 times of it. So this side area is On the right side of y-axis is 5 unit. Okay, now let's come to the left side one. So for the left side, okay, wait, if I just erase it, right. Now see, for the left side, it is like, so, I mean, if we go for this part also, so why to have, because it's the same thing which you might have here also. So if I go from 0 to 1, so I will integrate 0 to half and half to 1. So same thing, minus half to minus 1 to minus half, and then minus half to 0. Isn't that? Okay, so I will write it as, one more thing, again it's symmetric. So if I just calculate this area, I mean this area, and take it twice, I think it will be fine, isn't that, bachon? So it's like 0 to half twice of ln x. So it's again 2 times x ln x minus x 0 to half. So it's 2 times half ln 2 and then minus half, fine, fair enough, and then 0 is 0. So it's ln 2 minus 1 mod. So it has to be 1 minus ln 2. I think all of you will agree. Bacho, isn't that half ln half minus 1, and then you put 0, everything gets 0. Okay, so why? Because see, 1 is greater than ln 2. ln 2 is negative. Right. Okay, so in any case, everything got positive, no? So if I take it 5 times, so 5 times 1 minus ln 2, it's ln half, okay, minus ln 2. Yeah, it's ln half, it's not fine. Because see, looking at the option, it's 5 1 minus ln 2 or 5 ln 2. Okay, the first one we got as 5. Wait, so it will be minus half, so minus 1 minus ln 2. To make it positive, of course this is negative, ln 2 is negative, so will that be 1 plus ln 2? क्या बच्चों? But both are negative, yeah. So that's it. So 5 times we add it, so we get 10 plus ln 2, no? There is a problem. None of these 5 times 1 plus ln 2. Wait, just let me quickly check it once. It's 5. So won't that be symmetric? I think it should be, because we just took the mirror image. And in any case, see, ln mod x and ln x. Mod x, ln minus x. X negative. Shouldn't be any difference, no? Where we went wrong? Okay, just give me a minute if I can figure it out. 1 ln 1 0 minus 1 0 with 0 is gone. So of course the area has to be positive. We will take it as 1, and then area enclosed by the curve y is equal to fx, y is equal to f mod x, x between minus 5 to 5 and y equal to 0. Okay, minus 5 to 5. Okay, so 5 that side, fx and f mod x, and x is equal to 0. So does that mean, okay, Does that mean they are looking for this area only? I mean this side area only, bounded by fx, f mod x and the x-axis. So if we take one, interpret it like the region which has all the three boundaries, y is equal to fx, f of mod x and the x-axis. In that case we have the region only in the, but f of mod x is same as fx. I mean, okay, if anyone figure out the mistake, or there might be mistake in the options also. Okay, don't think there is any mistake in the calculation, isn't that, bachcho? 0 to half, half to 1, ln x. Okay, wait. Okay, if we just a minute. If I just remove 2 here, so if I go for 0 to half and half to 1, half to 1 is ln x. In that case 0 to half will be what? Ln of minus x. That's not possible, so we have to put mod, and when x is positive, mod has no meaning. Half to 1. We should get that thing. Chaliye, I'm moving quickly. It's taking a lot of time, but theek hai. I mean, that was the interpretation. I mean, the curve, the thing. That's why I picked up this question. I don't know where I went wrong, or maybe the options, or maybe none of these might be the answer. But see, why am I thinking so much? Because when I solved it for the students here, we got something like 5 times 1 plus ln2 or 1 minus ln2. Okay, now here what are we getting actually is 10. I mean 5 plus 5, isn't that? Because here again we got it as 1 plus ln2. Chaliye, I'm moving quickly to the next one. I'm skipping it. See, I'm literally skipping it because I tried this question. I don't know. I tried to verify it also whether there's some mistake or not. I tried. I couldn't solve it. I mean, to be true, I couldn't solve it. If I will be able to, because while just before recording the video, I was just looking at the question. I tried to solve it quickly. I mean, I couldn't solve it and couldn't figure out how to get these things. Okay, so I'm quickly moving to the next one, not to waste time here. Next one is such that, see, that again, because I spent some time here in solving this question, f dash x is positive, which of the following. So see what the things I tried. Okay, first I tried to write it as like f double dash x minus, see what the things I tried. I'm telling you, I take fx and 1 f dash x to that side, f dash x minus fx plus 2 e raised power x. So first thing what I tried was, can I write it as, see, this is nothing but derivative of f dash x minus fx, which I have here, but then that was the problem. That was the problem. Okay, so I thought if I will get exactly same thing, I will bring it down and integrating. But then when I couldn't do it, then all of a sudden I realized, I mean, while thinking on that direction, I realized if I assume it as p. Now see what happened. dp by dx, this is also p, minus p is equal to 2 times e raised power x, and the very moment I wrote it, I realized, okay, I can compare it with linear differential equation. Okay, so the integrating factor here is e raised to the power minus x. So multiply both the sides by the integrating factor. We know we will get p into e raised power minus x 2 times integral dx. So it is p is f dash x minus f of x e raised power minus x is equal to 2x plus c, or we चलिए anyways c रखते हैं. So it will be f dash x minus f of x is equal to 2x e raised to the power x plus c e raised to the power x. So that's the first step. Now again, f dash x, this is derivative minus p, so that's definitely there's a direct LDE here. Dy by dx minus y is equal to function of x. So I will write it as y into, again the integrating factor is e raised to the power integral of minus 1 dx, which is e raised to power minus x. So e raised to power minus x multiplied, so 2x plus c, and then integrate. So you get it as x square plus c x plus d. Okay, so f of x is, x square e raised to the power x plus cx e raised to the power x plus d e raised to the power x. Okay, now see, in the question we are given that f dash x is positive for all x. Okay, and what is f dash x? F dash x is nothing, so if you look from here, f dash x is nothing but fx from here rather. So f dash x is nothing but fx plus 2x e raised to power x plus c times e raised to power x, if it is to be positive for all x. Okay, so of course fx something like see, it's true for all x. Okay, so this term has to be positive. I mean fx has to be positive in that case. Okay, so first thing, and moreover it is comparable, this term is always positive, x into e raised to power x. Of course, if this has to be always positive, I will say that this should be positive. Okay, so from there we can conclude that, and this is again, I mean c and d have to be such that these terms has to be positive. Okay, so the option is that following can be correct. So I think mod of fx is equal to fx is the option which can be correct. Mod of fx is equal to minus fx means, what does that mean? Fx is less than 0 for all x. Okay, then only you will replace mod fx by minus fx. So that's not possible, because for this term to be positive, fx can be, at least that's one thing, is if fx is positive, this can be always positive for all x. Okay, so from that thing I related and I said, okay, I claim that this should be the answer. We can't claim anything about the values. I mean, of course, we can say that if it is always positive, f3 can be 7. So that can again be the correct one. Okay, but the option is the correct, since it's a single correct question. It was a single correct question. The correct is this. If this would have been multiple correct question, I would have gone for this option also, B and D. Okay, so now quickly moving to the 10th question. The 10th question here is solution of the differential equation is given by. Okay, so again, is it a homogeneous form? Answer is no. It's a third degree. It's a 5 degrees. Of course, not a homogeneous form. Can we separate the variable? I mean, I can't again see it happening, so I won't even try it. LD again, I will say it's a bit complex. So the first thing here. So of course, that's the pattern I follow. But just by looking at it, the first thing I tried was, can I write it as a something like exact differential form? So let me just try it. X square y dy minus x cube y square dy equal to 0. Okay, so xy square and x square y, if I take this common, y dx plus x dy, okay, is equal to, if I take it the other side, and x square y square, if I take common, x square y square, okay, so we get x square y square, x dy minus 2y dx. Okay, now see, I will take one x from here inside the bracket, y, this y, because see, now the derivative of x square is 2x. Okay, and of course derivative of y is dy. So now if I divide it by y square, okay, wait, if I divide it by but in that case I have to divide by x raised to the power 4 multiply by x raised to the power 4 cube. Shall I try? Okay, or see, what I can try is this thing. Okay, so this is xy, I can remove this, I can remove this, I can remove this, and y square here to y square here. Okay, x is gone, So this has to be gone, no? Wait, bachcho, thinking. Okay, so if I am trying to do this, so what we got actually is y dx plus x dy minus times, okay, is equal to y cube, if I am not wrong, y into y square, y cube, and then this is d by dx of derivative of, not dx but derivative of what, x square by y, x square by y, okay. So x square by y means, okay, right, so first we will differentiate numerator 2x keeping y outside, okay, fine. So now, so of course, wait, this it. Now see, of course this is dxy, so minus times d of xy is equal to y cube, okay. So if I multiply and divide by x square, it's x square y square into 1 upon x by x square by y, got it, d of x square by y, bachcho, got it. So now take it this side, so this is minus, so take it this side, so we have 1 upon xy, okay, dt upon t square, integral is minus 1 by t, minus is there, and then it is like dt upon t, dt upon t, ln of t. So we have 2 times ln mod x minus ln y minus 1 by xy is equal to c. So if that matches with any option, 2 times ln mod x minus ln y minus 1 by xy is equal to c. The first one itself is the answer in that case, okay. So that was another question based on exact differential. Fx is x cube plus x minus 2. So again see, again the question is related to f, so that is the purpose of this question. Y is equal to f inverse x. So again, can we find the inverse here? My answer is absolutely not. Okay, so you can find inverse till you have a polynomial of degree 2. More than that, it's highly unlikely we can easily find. There's no standard method to find inverse in that case. Okay, so again, the area of the region bounded by y is equal to fx, f inverse x, xy equal to 0 in first quadrant is, okay. So see, how did I try it? So I've already solved this question because again I got it as a doubt, so I did it I think few days back. See how I approached. Y is equal to x cube plus x minus 2. Okay, at x is equal to 0, it's minus 2. Y of 1 is 0. Okay, so one root is 1. And then see, if I go for its derivative, dy by dx is 3x square plus 1 is strictly increasing function. Second order derivative is 0 at 0, so there will be a term something like this and it will go like this. So where does it meet y is equal to x line? So for that I solved x cube plus x minus 2 is equal to x, that's gone, x is equal to 2 raised to power 1 by 3 cube root of 2, so that's the point. So this point is, since it lies on y is equal to x line, both epsilon ordinate has to be same. Okay, now as we have already discussed, the curve of f inverse and fx, they are mirror images on the line y is equal to x. So mirror image of this point will be here, which is 0, 1, and rest it will go something like this. Now what are we looking for? We are looking for the area of the region bounded by this and xy is equal to 0 in the first quadrant, x-axis, y-axis, first quadrant, area bounded. So what we need here is this region. Now what I did, I just completed this square. Now from this square, if I remove the area of which region, which color shall I use? If I remove this region and this region, won't we get the answer? We will get the area of the curve bounded by this thing. Okay, how? So area of square is 2 raised to power 2 by 3, 2 raised to power 1 by 3 into a square. So 2 raised power 2 by 3 minus 2 times 1 to 2 raised power 1 by 3 x cube plus x minus 2 dx. All of you agree or not? Why will it be 2 times? Because see, symmetry. The area here will be same as the area bounded by its inverse with the y-axis, isn't that? So this area and this area is going to be the same. So that's it. So once you do it, so it's and we are given, I think the area is given to be 3t minus 5 by 2. So this is 3t minus 5 by 2. We have to find t. Okay, see, the point is if we get something like 5 by 2, we'll be sure that we are in the right direction. So 2 raised power 2 by 3 minus 2 times, and then it is x raised power 4 by 4 1 to 2 raised power 1 by 3. Okay, plus x square by 2 1 to 2 raised power 1 by 3. Okay, minus 2 into 2 raised power 1 by 3 minus 1. Fine. So this is now 2 into 2 raised power 4 by 3 by 2, gone, fair enough. 2 is gone, minus 2 raised power 2 by 3. Okay, this is gone, fine. Minus minus is plus 4 into 2 raised power 1 by 3, and this is plus 2. We missed 1 by 4 here, minus 1 by 4, minus 1 by 2. Okay, plus 2, sorry, plus 2 into minus 2 is minus 4, and this times minus 2. Okay, let's see. So this is minus 3 by 4, so plus 3 by 2, and then this is minus 4. So my right, good. So we got it. So that means what remains is 3 times t. Okay, so what remains here is, this is 2 raised power 2 by 3, divide by 2. Okay, and then okay, minus 4 into 2 raised power 1 by 3 plus 4 into, this was minus, actually this is plus, so we got it, 3 into 2 raised power 1 by 3, and that's it. So t is 2 raised power 1 by 3, and then we are given t is a raised power 1 by b, and then there is a question following. That's not a concern here. That you can try later, but a raised power 1 by b, so a is 2 and b is 3, and then you put the value, get n, and then you can try to solve it further. Moving quickly to the next one. Now that's again the same question. See, how can you use that property? See, again and again I am just putting up such type of question. Okay, the reason is you shouldn't miss it. Only thing is you should be able to connect that these are inverse of each other. Look at tan inverse x on one side, tan on the other side. Look at E on one side, its inverse is ln on the other side. So that should give you an idea that okay, we are heading towards this property fx and f inverse of x, and hence you can use it. So using it, it's so direct, because f of 0, if I replace x by 0 here, so it's e raised power 0, which is 1. If you replace x by 1 here, e raised power tan inverse of 1, which is pi by 4, to e raised power pi by 4. So it's f of 0, f of a, f of b. So the answer is simple, b into f of b minus a into f of a is 0. So b is 1, e raised power b. So answer is direct, e raised power pi by 4. So moving to the next one. Next question is again, see, that's a very typical, typical means a very common, old type of question, but again it's still a good, taken as a good question. Why? Because see, the purpose of this question is to think in the method of substitution, where what we try is, can we assume replace this thing by t such that we get this derivative here. To balance it out, we have x raised power 27, so I will write it as x cube into x raised power 24 5x plus 4 x square plus x plus 1 raised to the power 6 dx. Okay, so this is, I will take x cube here, x raised power 24 here, x cube here, 6 times x raised power 5, 5 times x raised power 4 plus 4x cube. See, the entire focus while approaching this question was, what should I get it? And see, it's simple. If I differentiate this term, I need to get 6. So So for that I need to have power 6 here. If I differentiate, I need 5, so the power should be 5 here. So how will you get it? That means you need to increase the power here by 4. Okay, so if you take x raised power 24 inside, since the whole power is 6, so inside you will get is 4. So you get it as x raised power 6 plus x raised power 5 plus x raised power 4 and raised power 6, and this entire thing is the derivative. So the answer is 3 raised power 7 by 7, where this is 3. So that should be the answer. So moving to the next question. Next one is e raised power x. Acha, again see, this question is based on this property, g dash x plus gx into f dash x dx. Okay, but see, I will accept here that I didn't start with this. I just first tried to simplify it. How I took out, see, x is common from this term, so e raised power x raised power 4 into e raised power x square into 1 plus x square plus 2 times x raised power 4 x dx. So I started by replacing this by t. Then what I got here is half times e raised power t square into e raised power t 1 plus t plus 2t square dt. Bachon, fine. After that actually I realized, you may say that how I can't see it happening from the beginning itself, but then after that I realized, okay, if I write it as this, so this might be f of t. Now the point is, can we get its derivative? So from here we can see that if I take t common, 2t plus 1, now 2t plus 1 is its derivative. So now we got it. So this should be f dash of t. So this, in that case, let's take it as t, g of t, and its derivative is 1, and which is what is left here. We got it. So the answer is simply, did I write here? No, I didn't. So here in that case, the integral of this is into g of x and plus c. So the answer is e raised to the power t square plus t into t plus c, and then you replace half times, of course, and then you replace t by x square, and we will get the answer. So moving to this last question here, this is f square x, fx, we need f of x. Okay, so what you need to do is, of course, we don't have a choice, differentiating both the side with respect to x. So 2 times fx, f dash x is equal to fx sec square x upon 1 plus tan x, and that's it. fx gone. So f dash x is equal to sec square x by 1 plus tan x half, integrating both the sides. Now that was simple after this. Okay, so it's really very simple once you get rid of this form and get f dash x after applying Leibniz. So those were the questions for our first sheet. Now we will move to the second sheet, but before that I will definitely upload the miscellaneous sheet here, and then we will have its solution. Okay, so we are slowly, gradually we are closing to the advanced paper. So one thing I will suggest you all, okay, go for the complete revision and try to solve, daily in mathematics. Try to solve at least 20-25 good questions. Okay, so that will help you in maintaining the momentum for your advanced paper. Okay, so in this question I still remember that one question I left it out. Okay, and one question we didn't get the answer, because see, I was of the opinion, because I solved it in the class for my students here, I got something like 5 times 1 plus ln2 or 1 minus ln2, something like that. But distance this time didn't match, so might be the answer might be none of these. Okay, so that one thing we have to verify. I will suggest you all to verify it and let me know in the comment box. And the 8th question, if I'm not wrong, which I skipped, because of course I will accept here, I couldn't solve it. Because few questions, normally I select those questions which I take up as doubt, which I get as doubt here from the students. Okay, then I prepare the worksheet because I find those questions good. I think that I shall discuss it with you, but few questions, like if I have 6-7 doubts only, so I select the questions from different source. Normally I don't solve the question till I get it as a doubt. So that's the tendency. But just before shooting the video, I try to just look at what are the other questions. Then I realize, okay, I got stuck. Okay, so if anyone get a solution, let me know with the help of comment box. Okay, so this is done for today. In the next video we will come up with either miscellaneous or integral calculus part 2-1. Okay, that's it. Good day to all of you, with all the best wishes. Bye bye.